Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So myself Gautam, a software engineer. Today in this video, I'm going to tell you 10 mistakes that you should avoid while preparing for your GATE examination. So myself, I have prepared for GATE examination 2 continuous years during my UG degree, and it was during my third and fourth year. I prepared very seriously and I qualified the exams. You can learn from my mistakes and perform better in your GATE examinations and get into any IITs or NITs just like you wish. Here are the 10 points I will give you so you can give the best shot to the exam. Let's get started with this video. So the first pointer is that trust the preparation source that you are believing. For example, say you have taken a course from RBR or you have taken a course from Applied Gate, Unacademy, or say there is a course from MadeEasy or Prep Leader, whatever it is. So if you have taken the course for preparation, trust the preparation source. Don't be in the fear of missing out that there are certain topics which are covered in this specific course and it was not covered in the another one which you are maybe following. So don't ever have that kind of mentality, losing confidence. Don't go over every lecture and every educator who's teaching this. Okay. So this is one of a main mistake which will make you spend a lot of time to study on the same recurring subjects, and then you will miss out on actual preparation and practicing, and you will end up evaluating all the different courses. This is one of the main mistakes that I made in my preparation, and I don't want you to commit that. So trust the preparation resource that you're actually following. Whatever the course that you're taking, take it seriously, finish the lectures. You should have enough time to prepare for all of it, rather than basically trying to always doubt that if this course is a good course or not. If you have taken it, prepare with it very well, because there are people who have taken the same course and have cracked it. It's about the practice, not about covering everything in the syllabus. The second mistake that you should avoid during your GATE exam preparation is that not using the GATE calculator. For example, when you are attending a test series or while preparing for the exam, there will be a GATE CS calculator which will be on the test series portal itself or wherever you are taking the test. So I would suggest you to basically use that calculator rather than relying on your mobile phone calculator or a normal calculator. So this physical calculator and normal mobile phone calculators might help you during your assessment and minimal test series that you're attending before. But when you're going to the actual assessment, you will not be able to use certain functionalities that are available in the calculator of GATE examination. So in my case, what happened was I always had a thought that it's going to be a very simple thing. Just before the exam, I'll just see how to use this calculator and go to the exam. So that was a very big, and on the day of exam, I can't do anything other than addition, subtraction, multiplication with that calculator. And it was a very big blunder from my end. I don't want you to commit the same. Starting from the preparation, day one, do the preparation with the GATE exam calculator. Also, make sure every test series that you attend, use your mouse and then calculate that GATE exam calculator itself. So the second point is not to use the physical calculator. So the third mistake is that don't do multiple test series at the same time. Even if you are preparing full time, you will not have enough time to basically attend test series from different sources. For example, say you have taken test series from RBR, if you have taken test series from Applied Gate, it will be extremely hard to finish all this test series because you have to touch all the topic tests, all the full length test, half length test, max test. You will have to finish them step by step, and if you have to do that in both the test series, it's going to be extremely hard. So what I would suggest is finish the topic test from one reputed source. For example, say you have taken a test series or some test series comes along with your course, finish the test series along with only for the topic test. And then after finishing all the topic tests and preparing all the lectures and after revising everything, what you will have to do is you will have half tests and full length test, all that, or subject level tests. So for these tests, you can take additional resources and firstly try to finish the primary track which you are already following, finish the test series, and if you have time, go to the other test series. Don't go and try all the multiple different sources of test series. You will not at all have time to finish the syllabus. You will not have time to revise things. You have to do a lot of syllabus completion. You have to watch lots and lots of lectures. Each subject lectures would be somewhere around 100 hours, 120 based on the lectures that you will select. So at this time, my suggestion is don't ever take multiple test series and just waste money and be blocked on multiple ones. So take a topic test, finish them in one test series. Then when you are moving to subject level test and full test, take two test series and do them parallelly one by one. Also, this is what I would suggest you during the preparation. This is very specific to your GATE computer science mathematics. I think this will help you no matter which GATE exam you prepare for, either CS or ECE. If you are preparing for mathematics, I think this suggestion will very much help you. So, when you are basically preparing for mathematics, what you have to do is pick this subject as first or second subject, finish all the lectures, practice it well, and then start with other subjects. When you are going to start with other subjects, for example, you are doing PDS, DSA, and then TOC, for example, theory of compiler design, theory of computation. So we'll have to go through all lectures. For example, there are around 7 to 8 subjects that you have to prepare apart from mathematics. So what happens is over a period of time, you will forget all the intricate details if you prepare the mathematics very first. So what you have to do is you have to take mathematics as a second subject. First prepare programming, then do mathematics, practice it well, and make sure you revisit to attend test in mathematics, because it's very hard to revise at the same time, because that will be the first time you will be preparing all the subjects as well. You have to watch a lot of lectures. Do this as a second subject after doing programming, and then keep attending test. So towards the end, when you actually complete all the subjects and you wanted to revise, you will have some idea because you are continuously attending test mathematics. So what will happen is you will have to revisit the whole video lectures for mathematics. That will be a problem towards the end. You have to give another time. So I would basically suggest take this as a first or a second subject, finish this subject, then practice it, then move to the next subjects. Don't come back to the notes again in mathematics. Rather, while you are looking at the lectures of all the other subjects, test of mathematics, so that you will not actually forget all the intricate details. This was one of the mistakes I made. When I completed mathematics, I was very confident, and then towards the end, when I actually prepared for the exam, all the other subjects dominated and I could not actually revisit, and I had to once again look at the lectures of mathematics. This was a very big blunder which I made, I feel. So I don't want you to commit that. Keep attending assessments for mathematics, else you will forget the intricate details. It may sound like you are remembering everything, but when you are solving questions only, you will have that intricate details which you should not actually miss. And also you should not miss that intuition, which means you should be in practice and touch with mathematics always if you are preparing at the first. Also, don't push it towards the end, because you will not have enough time to actually practice and revise things. Yes, that was about the fourth point, how to prepare mathematics and what strategies that you should be following. So yes, let's move on to the next part. This is regarding aptitude. So coming to aptitude, there are some 12 to 15 topics, I guess. If you prepare them, that is sufficient for GATE examination. I would say the GATE aptitude is not extremely hard, but they will tweak the questions a little bit. So what happens is, when you are actually preparing for aptitudes, learn to visualize the question. While reading the question, form the equation and try to visualize the question. That's how you can be right about aptitude. So in my case, what happened was, I have practiced well. I have looked at many questions and then many test series to go through all the different concepts, and I did all of it. But on the day of examination, what can happen is, there was one specific question. The question was something like this: 100 minus 60, how much it is? It was 40, but the answer that they expect was 60. So I understood. After computing the answer, I was very happy to go and write the answers there on the screen. But when I went through the question once again, I realized, okay, this question, what they are expecting is already in the question itself. So you have to be very clear. Even after computing the answer, you might go wrong because you have not given the answer that they expect. So there can be little bit of peaks like that. So basically what you can do at this is, you can basically learn to visualize the question. While you're reading the question, try to form the equation if it's an aptitude question, and then try to solve them later on. If you do that way, you exactly know what are you actually trying to figure out. Being very urgent about computing the answer. Visualize the question properly. After computing the answer, think if this answer is correct, compare with the question, then write the answer if it's an aptitude question. This applies to any GATE exam that you are preparing, just like the mathematics one which I told as a previous step. So let's get to the next point. So the next one is for someone who has already completed the preparation in the revision phase. So what you might be doing is, you will be actually looking at your notes or the test series that you are already doing, and you must be going through the notes. Over a period of time, you will be revising it multiple times, right? So by doing this multiple times, what happens is, the time required to actually revise a subject will be getting very much lesser. So in my case, I came to a space where it takes only 4 days for me to revise all the subjects of GATE. So you will go and reach that point only if you multiple times. But the mistake that I committed was, along with the revision, I did not add test series. So what you should basically do is, after revising a subject, for example, take my case, I like computer networks out of all the subjects in GATE examination. So in the subject, I can take some 5 hours and I can revise the whole subject itself and be prepared for the GATE. So what I do is I complete this and immediately move to the next subject to start the revision. That was the thing that I did, and I thought this is the revision, and the test should be separate thing is what my was at the time. So kept revising the theories again and again, but missed out on actually improving my problem solving skills on that specific subject. So what you have to do is, for example, say computer networks itself, you have revised it for 5 hours and you have completed it. If you feel confident really, then take the test series the same day, either immediately or towards the end of the day. Always combine this revision along with one test series of the subject based test series. Over a period of time, you have to basically change it to multiple subject tests. For example, first time you have prepared for computer networks, wrote a test, then you have done sequentially for one by one all the subjects. The next time what you have to do is prepare 3 subjects, revise 3 subjects in 2 days, then immediately go and give the test series for that multi-subject test. So that's how you have to plan. Your revision should not be only theoretical, it should be always along with the test, so that you will improve your practice of solving problems on those specific concepts rather than just improving your theory. Theory might help you to get you into great companies, answer you the questions, but actually to solve these problems, you should practice them with test series. So that was one mistake which I made, and I don't want you to commit. Notes that you will be preparing for your GATE exam. So in my case, what I did was I started with my PDS, which is programming and data structure, started writing notes, then wrote notes for algorithms. It almost took 2 to 3 months just to finish the notes along with the course and lectures. I realized if I go at this speed, I will never ever complete the syllabus and I will never be able to attend the assignments. So that was the first mistake I made. And slowly I discovered that for every course, that whatever you want to follow, you will have already pre-written notes which you can rely on, because there are good grads who have already completed the GATE exams by following this course and preparing notes out of them. But let me also put one pattern that I noticed. If you actually take this pattern of writing own notes or following someone else's notes, in my case, I prepared notes for 2 subjects and then I used notes of others, whoever has followed it. So what I have observed is most people who has actually written their own notes have always cracked the exam. I don't know why, but this has happened that most people who has written their own notes, they cracked the exam for sure than the people who followed someone else's notes. I don't know what is the reason behind, but I would suggest, this is a suggestion. Maybe it's your take. If you have a good enough time, basically you can write your own notes. If you don't want that, you can basically practice for the exams, whatever it is. So in my case, I followed someone else's notes, and then it was pretty much good. Firstly, I had my iPad to look at those notes and started studying everything. Then I took printout of all the notes. The reason was, when I'm attending some test series, it was easier to prepare from a notes, basically a physical note. So I printed all those notes and I studied out of them. And still I have all those books and I like them all to revisit once again as well. So if you have enough time, I would suggest you to take your own notes. See, most of the times there is a notes which is already either provided by the people itself who's attending those, who has already attended, or there will be or people from the same institute, whoever has offered the course might also offer notes along with that. So if you take applied GATE, they have notes along with the course. So yes, you have to plan it accordingly. That was about the notes part when you're preparing for GATE exams. This is on the test series that you will be attending. For example, if you're attending a test series, always make sure after completing the test series, don't be lazy to close that after looking at the map. Look what are all the mistakes that you have committed and how your peers have attended those exams better than you, and why have they done it better than you, and what mistakes have you committed, or is there a conceptual understanding which is wrong. For example, if you take operating systems, specifically in the part of memory management, you will understand a lot of changes and things only after looking at how your peers have basically answered those questions and what was their thought process. So you have to, after every series, make sure you go through every question and see, even for the correct one, see how they have approached the answer and how you have approached the answer. There could be things that you have not basically touched in your course, but you will end up touching them in series, and you wanted to basically write them down somewhere. That is where this physical notes will be very handy. You should not, my suggestion is not to maintain a separate notebook for that. It becomes a separate work for you to basically revise things. So what I would basically suggest is, take the same physical notes. For example, if you're preparing for operating system, then operating system itself in the same place where that specific topic is written, write very small things to just mention whatever the things that you want to do, or just stick some sticky notes like that. So that will basically help you just go through while revising itself. You can just go through those points as well. It will be much more helpful. So make sure you go through all the correct questions, all the wrong questions, and everything after completing the assessment. Don't be lazy for it. It's very, very important than attending the next series that you wanted to open. So yes, that was my suggestion. Before going to the gate examination, for example, 2 or 3 weeks, if possible, 1 month before the gate examination, you will basically start giving full-length test with all the subjects and concepts that you have prepared. So while giving this test, make sure you give the test at the same time of the exam. For example, if you have an exam at 10 to 12, if you have been scheduled at that time, because by the time you would have got all your tickets, all that, and it will be mentioned what is the time of your assessments. So try to practice and attend test series at the same time. You give the test series between 10 to 12 the same time, so that you will get to the practice of attending test series and you will mentally be ready on the day of assessment for the same. So yes, that was all about some of the tips and mistakes that I committed, and I don't want you guys to commit. So please let me know if this video was really helpful, and in future I will be posting a lot of content about GATE, then interview preparation, and a lot of such things. Please subscribe and like this video so that I can be motivated to post more content on the same. Put comments if you have some questions or want different kind of a content that you are looking for. So yes, thank you.